The world has gone crazy. What do we do? I guess all we can do is listen to the Alpough show, the human spirit experiment. He'll help us. He'll know what to do.
And welcome to Alpough. Welcome to late night breaking news. Boy, what happens in the daytime, isn't it? Now, I'm going to give some quotes here. Let me just set it straight right now. The quotes I'm going to be giving, the information is not my own at all. Okay. As we saw in the intro here, that the World Health Organization has made a major change. Now, first of all, let me just start with this. If you don't know, the World Health Organization is, they're the ones who talk about all the health and everything. And now everything's going under one plan. Now, when President Trump was elected, this is why it's kind of strange, is because when President Trump got in, he immediately got out of the World Organization. Now, I'm paraphrasing this, but for the most part, the reason why he got out of it was because he saw, I think probably was some corruption, but the most thing it was that we were paying so much money. And I think he said we were paying the most money, and it just wasn't like profitable for us. So here in just literally in the last 24 hours, Joe Biden has gone through a lot of changes here. And one of the changes he's gone through is we rejoined the World Health Organization. And it's interesting because there is a new treaty that's getting ready to come out, and the treaty was announced by the WHO. Now, because of time here, I had some technical difficulties trying to get some of this information up. But I'm going to read from my phone, and we're going to take a little bit more about this tomorrow because we'll be doing 3 shows. This is our 3rd show today. The WHO Planned Pandemic Treaty is what it's called. The WHO Planned Pandemic Treaty. The WHO Secretariat to play the leading, convening, and coordinating role in operational aspects of an emergency response to a pandemic. Now, this means that they will consult with and attempt to obtain verification from the state party in whose territory the event is allegedly occurring in. So basically, let's just say it breaks out in Taiwan. Okay, so the World Health Organization will go there, or everyone's represented anyway in each country. They have 190 countries, by the way. So they will obtain the verification of what is going on what's going, if there's some type of pandemic or whatever, they will go and investigate it. Then the inform WHO about the establishment of its national competitive authority responsible for overall implementation of the International Health Response Team, it's HR, International Health, that will be recognized and held accountable. In other words, the WHO will decide on what to do. And once they've made their decision, then it will affect the whole world. So let's keep going here. National and global coordinated actions to address the misinformation, disinformation, and stigmatization that undermine public health. Let me read that again. National and global coordinated actions to address the misinformation, disinformation, and stigmatization that undermine public health. So the first thing also they're going to do is manage on how they want the information to be put out. So not only will they be the pandemic people, but they also will be in charge of deciding on whether or not the information that somebody puts out is disinformation. So they're going to, not only do they have complete control of the pandemic, but they also have control of all the information. They will be the ones to announce the official, and no one can disagree. This is kind of weird. That means if a news station says no, this isn't, they literally can shut it down from anywhere in the world. The WHO Secretariat to build capacity to deploy proactive countermeasures against misinformation and social media attacks. It's just interesting that half of this stuff is just about being in complete control of the information. All right. So where does this leave us? All right. Now, first of all, there's the guy who's in charge of this. He's going to be in charge, and it is going to be this guy. And I'm just going to say Tedros. Everybody calls him Tedros. You have to look him up. I can't give you the information. They'll probably, disinformation me. All right. But this is true. I am saying every and absolute thing. I'm quoting everything on the WHO. So they're calling for what's called a global pandemic treaty. And they want complete total authority, global authority, in charge of they call it the public health. They will be the ones to announce a public health emergency, and they will be the ones that absolutely are going to be the first say and the final say. Now, all of these people in this organization are unelected. Okay. So what they want to do is what's called a whole of society approach to pandemics. So, in other words, if something happened in, let's just say, a small country in Brazil, they could shut the whole thing. They could shut it all down. They have the power. Whole of government, whole of society approach, and they will tell us about the pandemic preparedness on what they think it should be. So the operational control of all public health. And so, again, they're not elected officials. Okay, so what basically is Biden has given power, our country, a democratic country, the health and wellness of our country. Now, they're telling us, they're going to tell us, or what they're telling us is, no, this is only for the pandemics. Okay? This is only for the pandemic. But see, the whole thing about the pandemic is they can, since they're global, they can act global. And also coming in, that's going to be involved is everyone's going to have an ID, a digital ID with the WHO. And this will determine on whether or not you can get in on a plane, on a bus. This could determine whether or not you can get an Uber. You see? So now this is, absolutely a serious matter. Again, this just happened. But I think it was worthwhile to let you know we're gonna know a whole lot more about this tomorrow. A whole lot more this tomorrow. There's so much going on, and I'm here to give the middle of the road definition. This is independent. I'm not, I'm an independent. I see what I see. I study 3-4 sides, and I feel like I need to give you this information. I think it's important that I give you this information so that you can prepare. Okay. So we never thought of this happening so fast, where one organization could literally be control over everybody. But see, again, we're Americans, so we're looking at the democratic process, but this is not a democratic process. Okay? This is nothing democratic at all. And so this got rushed through. It's interesting. There'll be more we're going to talk about. This is my late night thing that I come out to give the final news of what happened today, and this is a perfect example of that. So I will be back tomorrow with probably 3 shows on what's going on throughout the day. Thank you so much. This is the Alpough Show, the Human Spirit Experiment, where we have to have a strong spirit. We have to have a strong mind. And that comes from within ourselves. And that comes from having Mother Spirit, Sophia, being in her bubble, because the rest of it isn't working. Now it's time for the new spirit, and that's Sophia. Good night to you all. See you tomorrow.